welcome back to a new video. It is a very blustery day out right now. It is snowing so much. I was hoping we would have a little sunshine this morning. I just looked at my phone. I think we're going to get a peak of it from like 2 to 3 in the afternoon. Other than that, I am almost certain that we are going to be getting snow all day long, which I guess is appropriate for today's video, because for today's video, I am going to be sharing with you a That Mom routine. You girls love this series on my channel, and I also love filming this series on my channel, but you girls love this series. So we are going to be doing a That Mom winter wellness routine, and it's going to be a little bit different than a typical winter wellness routine, where it's not going to be all about my workouts and everything I'm doing to stay fit in the winter season. More than anything, it's going to be using this time, especially with weather in days like today, to be a little bit more introspective and to bring in wellness habits into my home that help me feel nourished and satisfied throughout my day, that help with me getting some deep, restful sleep, that allow my body to take this time and utilizing moments like this to allow my body to hibernate and to really be cozy at home. And I often think that we think about wellness, and I did just do a video recently about wellness trends, and those trends fit perfectly into today's video, because my videos and honestly my approach to health, wellness, and nutrition as a functional nutritionist is all encompassing. And it's a really beautiful time for us to be introspective and to bring in some cozy elements, whether that's our diffuser or having lamps lit throughout the house, having low lighting, taking really strategic supplementation that helps us feel our best. And then at the same time, utilizing these very chilly, cozy days to stay calm, to be peaceful, and to use all of these beautiful tools that come along with the season to bolster up our winter wellness routine. So I'm excited to hang out with you girls today. I feel like we've really kind of kicked the year off in a beautiful way. You've been loving my back to basics health routine, my winter wellness trends that I think are worth embracing. You girls are loving the videos so far in 2025. So I thought, what better than to bring a That Mom routine in, all focused on winter wellness. So I just opened up my laptop because I was brainstorming about this video idea over the holiday break. I actually had spent quite a bit of time brainstorming about really thoughtful and strategic content that I thought would help elevate our day-to-day lives. And that's always the hope and purpose of my content, that will bring a level of education to your day-to-day life from a functional nutrition standpoint, that will also inspire you to take action through tips that feel really manageable. So when I thought about different wellness practices that I'm bringing into my winter routine, it's of course always starting with the lemon ginger tonic, which you already saw this morning, that we started our day with hydration. And so we talked about this in most of the videos that I've already put out this year, but the lemon ginger tonic is so imperative from a detoxification standpoint, from a hydration standpoint, what it does to our body, our skin, our mental clarity, our energy is truly irreplaceable. And so starting our day in this capacity is so important to me. So winter wellness always comes down to that lemon ginger tonic, and then you would have seen the red light therapy mask that I also was wearing, that beautiful red light therapy mask to start my day, because that helps bolster my circadian rhythm. So if you can take away 2 things from today's video, it is to hydrate your body in a really intentional and strategic way. Hopefully it's with my recipe that I've created over a decade ago, the lemon ginger tonic. I truly feel like it's the one thing that I am most known for on the internet, and that is the lemon ginger tonic. But morning light becomes increasingly more difficult in these dark, cooler months. And so last year I started implementing the red light therapy mask, and it dawned on me because last winter I was previously starting my morning every single morning in the sauna, which I do love that practice. And I tried to start my day at least 3 days per week with the sauna, but I found that doing it in the afternoon or before bed worked a little bit more with my schedule as a business owner, as a wife, and as a mother to 2 children. Doing the sauna every morning was becoming increasingly more difficult. And honestly, at one point it became a stressor. And I was like, I don't need an added stressor in my morning. So I started doing the red light therapy mask first thing in the morning and found that it was helping me tremendously with my circadian rhythm. So these are 2 things that I find so unbelievably helpful to help my wellness routine. Now, if you are somebody who doesn't have a red light therapy mask, I will have a link for you in the description box down below where you can utilize my code. Otherwise, using something like the Happy Light. They are so affordable on Amazon, or swapping out one of the lamps in your home with a red light bulb will also give you a very similar effect. So I will have those linked for you in the description box down below. But if you do utilize my discount code, you can get the red light therapy wand, which you can also just put around your eyes, which is amazing for depuffing first thing in the morning. And it will give you a very similar benefit. And that is super affordable. I'm pretty certain with my code, you can get the red light therapy wand for $60. So I would definitely say investing in a red light device is a supercharged way to really bolster our wellness routine, especially in the winter months. The next thing is something I don't want to hear, you don't want to hear. Many of us who run cold do not want to hear, but I have been getting outdoors, getting in my steps, and that's the next tip, is a spoiler alert, but I have been getting outdoors and getting in my movement for over 3 years, and it has changed my life. I know this sounds crazy, but when we moved into this house just shy of 4 years ago, it is a really big, beautiful neighborhood with incredible sidewalks. And this neighborhood is so vast that when I go out to do my morning walks, I do about half of the neighborhood, not even, maybe half of the neighborhood, and I get in 7,800 steps. And so I found using this resource of living in a place where I can get in a ton of steps has helped me so much. But then the first winter came, and I am somebody who is such a chicken when it comes to being cold. I have put my Hashimoto's into remission, but you know, autoimmune disease is a slippery slope. So I can feel at certain times where I could be slipping closer to maybe testing a little bit closer to positive of Hashimoto's with those TPO results. But I am somebody who runs so cold, regardless of the work that I have put into my body. I am just somebody who always runs cold. Being outdoors in the winter months chills me to the bone, but I did it 3 winters ago. Our first winter here, took it to the chin like a champ. I bundled myself up and I would get outside, even if it's for 30 minutes to get my steps in. It truly changed my life in ways that I find a hard time expressing and putting into words, because the fresh air, the cold, fresh air wakes my body up in such a beautiful capacity. In addition to that, moving outside is so imperative to my nervous system, to my cognitive function, to my hormone health, to my endocrine system. So if I can encourage you to do a few things from this video, it would definitely be these first tips. So getting outside for me first thing in the morning after I take the kids to the bus, I've already gotten my sunlight through my red light therapy, but now this is more so just a beautiful way to reach my movement goal throughout the day, and also really just support my body in a deep capacity through getting in this winter movement, which nourishes my nervous system and helps my cognition in ways that are greater than truly anything else. going to have to put my money where my mouth is because I realized that I want to run out to Whole Foods and grab a couple things. A few girls inside Living Well have been making our beautiful cabbage soup, and I was like, that sounds delicious. And we actually made chicken sausages last night, so I can chop those up. They're already cooked. I can chop those up and pop them into the soup, but I don't have purple cabbage. So I want to run to Whole Foods and grab some purple cabbage. I also want to run to Whole Foods and get some chicken feet to make a nourishing, beautiful bone broth. It's only 11 o'clock, so I will have plenty of time to run over there and grab everything I need. So the thing with making beautiful bone broth, I talk about this all of the time here on my channel, and we have just been on the protein kick for the last 18 months. This is the protein coffee, which has 35 grams of protein. I will have the recipe for you in the description box down below. But I've definitely been on a huge protein journey over the last 16 to 18 months. And bone broth has always played a huge role in my life. For 10 years, I've been drinking and making bone broth, but definitely on this protein journey because I sip on it throughout the day. And chicken feet bone broth gives you some of the most beautiful gelatinous bone broth. And so I notice my skin, it's literally 8 degrees out, and I just noticed my skin is feeling dry. I love my DIY skin smoothing oil. I will have the video linked for you down below where we put that recipe together. It is so easy and so nourishing, but that's from the outside in. When I think about nourishing my skin and all of the beautiful recipes that nourish your body from the inside out, having a beautiful chicken feet bone broth is something I definitely want to share with you girls because I always make bone broth, and oftentimes I will throw 1 or 2 chicken feet or the knuckles or oxtail into my bone broth recipes. But this time I'm just going to make a straight chicken feet bone broth. So stick with me on this one. Hopefully you don't jump off of the video, but I want to run over to Whole Foods and grab those things. And it is snowing and so cold. I don't want to go out there, but this is the motivator because it's one of those nourishing recipes that I know I'm always so grateful to have on hand. So that's kind of what I'm thinking here for this mid-afternoon. I will run over there really quickly. That way I can get back, I can start our soup, I can start our bone broth, do all of those things. So that's kind of what we have in the works here. But before I head over to Whole Foods, I do want to finish taking my morning supplementation. Some of my supplements I take on an empty stomach before I have any food. Some of my supplements I take with breakfast, and then other supplements I take throughout the day. And as I mentioned, it's 11 o'clock in the morning, and that is generally when I'm taking one of my gem bites. So I love to take the gem bites either here right around 11 a.m. or I like to take one of them right around 2:45 or 3 o'clock in the afternoon, right before the kids get off the bus. So I worked with Gem, and you all absolutely loved the product, which is not surprising to me because as we talked about the lemon ginger tonic, you girls love a citrus, herbally, rooty, fresh taste. And that is exactly what the Gem Bite tastes like because it does have that beautiful bright citrus, but also that beautiful richness of turmeric. And even the smell, I always say this, and I was saying this to my girlfriends and to my mom. My mom is obsessed. She's on the subscription plan. So many of you are on the subscription plan after I worked with them in December. I always say this, when I open the bag, my mouth actually starts to salivate because of the smell and the taste. One Gem Bite is beautiful because it gives you so many incredible nutrients like vitamin K2. There's prebiotics, probiotics, B vitamins, the beautiful citrus in here. There's pumpkin seeds in here. There's golden chlorella. There's beta glucan. The incredible ingredients in here. And then, as I mentioned, that turmeric. So you're getting a beautiful serving of curcumin. And honestly, for me, the taste is superior. And because the taste is so good, it is so easy to stay consistent with this. And the fact that the Gem Bites fill in those nutritional gaps with real whole foods. So when you look at the ingredient list, it is mostly things that you already have in your kitchen and that you're using in your day-to-day cooking. So I love that. I love the fact that as somebody who has studied supplemental science, we're able to see whole, real food ingredients that fill in those nutritional gaps. We all know that it is very hard to eat perfect, whatever perfect is. It is hard to eat perfect 365 days a year, 3 times per day. And so that's where something like Gem Bites come into play, because they do fill in those nutritional gaps with real food ingredients. So there's 20 synergistic ingredients in here that work collectively to help boost your body, your mood, and your overall health. And there's no fillers. There are no synthetic ingredients in the Gem Bites, and they absolutely taste unbelievable and delicious. And so I'm a huge fan of using these. So as mentioned, I like to take one right around 11 a.m. or I will take a Gem Bite around 2:45 or 3 p.m. right before the kids get home from school, right before I go to get them off of the bus. And so it's something I look forward to. In the morning, I'll take it with my coffee because it is that beautiful herbal taste of the turmeric with the bright citrus flavor. The Gem Bites are incredible and packed to the brim with superfood. So I like to take one at this time with my coffee, or in the afternoon, I will enjoy one of my Gem Bites with a cup of herbal tea, which is amazing for our winter wellness routine. When we think about winter wellness, I want us to think of it through the lens of comfort. When we feel comfortable, when we feel cozy, when we feel like we are deeply nourishing our body with real food, wholesome ingredients, this to me is like the overall arc of winter wellness. And so I'm a huge fan of the Gem Bites, as I mentioned to you girls back in November when I worked with them the first time. So I will have my link for you as well as my discount code in the description box down below and that first pinned comment, where you can go ahead and check out the Gem Bites, and then you can also feel more energized, focused, and balanced like I do after enjoying the Gem Bites. So go ahead and check out that link and my code down below where you can get started and order your first pack of Gem Bites. It has started to snow again. It is crazy. We've had snow on and off. I'm hopeful that the sun will come back out a little bit later today. I do want to throw together the Living Well cabbage soup for dinner tonight, so we will cook that in a little bit. I will have that recipe for you girls down below. Now, if you are squeamish, now is the time to look away, but I am going to be making some homemade bone broth. So I just picked up these beautiful chicken feet from Whole Foods. I'm going to pop a little bit of parchment paper on the pan. We're going to roast them first just to pull out all of that flavor, and then I'm going to toss it in the Instant Pot and cook it on high for 4.5 to 5 hours. You don't need actually to go any longer than 2 hours in the Instant Pot. It does such a beautiful job at really pulling out all of that collagen, but I am probably going to do it for 4 full hours just to ensure that I grab all of those nutrients out. But I want to roast them a little bit first to help with the flavor and to help pull out that gelatin, collagen, and all of the beautiful glycine and other amino acids that are part of the most nourishing part of drinking and consuming bone broth. the chicken feet in the oven while I wait for those to bake before I toss everything into the Instant Pot. I'm going to be making these 3 ingredient chicken nuggets that my girlfriend told me about, where you literally just use 1 cup of Simple Mills crackers or any crackers that you want, but I'm using this rosemary sea salt because this is what we have in the house and the kids love this one. Then I'm going to be using 1 pound of ground chicken, and to the chicken you just add 1 egg. So you mix the egg, the chicken together. I probably will also do a little bit of onion powder and paprika with that as well, just to like add a little extra flavor. Mix that up and then you roll it into your ground cracker mixture. And then I think you bake it at 400 degrees for 20 minutes, she said. So I've never tried this before. I'm pretty sure it's probably a TikTok recipe, but I figure what the heck, let's give it a go, and we can always give it to the kids as an after school snack when they get home while I'm getting everything ready for the cabbage soup, and it will be rich in protein and nutrients. And if they turn out well, maybe I can make a double batch here this week and see how they freeze, because that would be the real test, because then you can just pull them out and toss them into an air fryer. Our oven has an air fry option, so stay tuned. So let's put this together and see how it goes. So I just popped the chicken into the oven, and now our little chicken feet look great. So I'm gonna add some onion, celery, carrot, a little bit of lemon, black peppercorn, and toss this into the Instant Pot. Okay, so I ended up using 1.5 cups of the crackers, and girls, they're delicious. They are so good and so delicious. Sawyer is going to love these as her after school snack. I love to pair all of our chicken products with the True Made ketchup. I'll grab it for you really quick. As you can see down here, the ingredients are so clean and so simple. There is tomato concentrate, apple puree, distilled vinegar, carrot puree, butternut squash puree, salt, onion powder, and allspice. That's it. So these will be great for her as an after school snack. I'm going to reset the kitchen. It looks like the snow is about to let up, which will be nice for when I have to walk out to the bus to grab the kids. But I'm gonna clean up the kitchen, get all of this reset, and then we will start our cabbage soup. Okay, we are cruising. I just moved the Instant Pot over here out of the way so that way I can do our cabbage soup, and it looks to be like we might get a little sunshine. Well, now that I put the camera over here, it doesn't look like it, but it does feel like it's getting a little bit lighter here for a second. So we're gonna take advantage of the daylight and put together the Living Well delicious cabbage soup. This recipe has been so popular on the website lately, and even one of my best girlfriends made this recipe and just shared it on her Instagram, and I was like, okay, we're gonna make a version of it. Not the exact version, but I will have the recipe down below. I'm going to let the little chicken feet, they're right here behind you, I'm going to let the little chicken feet continue to just keep and stay warm for a little bit, probably like another hour, and then we will go ahead and pack that bone broth up. We will strain it and then pack it up. I'm most likely going to freeze some to use. I love to use it when I'm making the kids mac and cheese, spaghetti sauce. I always put a couple cubes of bone broth, and this one is so gelatinous when it cools down, so it's the perfect one to have in the freezer. But before we do that, let's go ahead and get our cabbage soup started. That way the bones could keep cooking, and then we will pack all of that up. Okay, so all of our veggies are coming together beautifully. Now I'm just going to grab out the sausages that we had from dinner last night, and I'm going to chop these up. They're of course already cooked, which is amazing. I have a few of the spicy sausages, and then these are the spicy chicken sausages from Whole Foods, and then I have a few of the mild ones as well. We're just gonna chop them all up together and toss them in there. And I love the mix of the spicy plus the regular mild Italian. It gives the soup the most beautiful flavor and kick. So I've got the soup simmering on low. Let's go ahead and pack up our chicken feet bone broth. So I saw a girl on TikTok do this where all she did was, oh wait, there goes my lighting. Hold on, girls, there. Okay, my lighting's back. Where she strained it over a bowl, which I always do. I always do it over the Pyrex with the spout. But I saw that she just did it over the bowl and then covered the bowl and put it in the fridge. And I was like, why have I never thought of that? I mean, one time I did it because I didn't have time to actually pack it all up and put it away. But then she just scooped it out once it had hardened and become more gelatinous, because when you're working with it and pouring it, it always spills everywhere. And sometimes I'm like, oh my gosh, in equivalent to a kettle and fire, I'm like, I just lost $18 in bone broth. Obviously, this isn't as expensive as a kettle and fire because we're making it at home, so it's like 1/16 of the price. But still, nonetheless, you don't waste the goodness. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna go ahead and pour it through the strainer in the bowl, and then I'm gonna cover it, pop it in the fridge, and then once it has fully hardened, we'll go ahead and scoop it into our containers. Absolutely beautiful. You can see there's definitely a really thick layer of collagen already on top of the bowl. I'm going to let this cool here for a second, and then I'll just throw some bees wrap over the top, and then we will put it in the fridge until it cools down, and then I'll scoop it into my different mason jars. Girls, I'm getting ready to hop in the shower and do some dry brushing. Then I turn on the water, I let it heat up. I've got my cozy cashmere robe. Then I'm gonna get out of the shower, do that beautiful DIY skin smoothing body oil recipe. I will have that linked for you in the description box down below, with a little bit of red light therapy. So I either always do the red light therapy face and chest mask, or I will do the wand. I have been absolutely loving using the wand. It's just so relaxing. I was like slightly congested for a few days, like a week ago, and I was using it in my sinus area, and it like vibrates and buzzes, and oh my goodness, that felt incredible. So this is a huge part of my winter wellness routine, is self-care. And I know we've been talking about this quite a bit, but it is so important to me to ensure that my home is in a really good place, that my schedule, my routine is in a really good place, that I'm being conscientious with my time, that I'm nourishing my body, that I'm filling in those nutrient gaps with a beautiful supplement like the Gem Bites. And so I think that it is so important to be introspective in these dark months. It is 6:30 at night, and as you can see, the curtains are open right here next to me, and it looks like it's midnight. So it is important to take care of ourselves, to nourish our body, to nourish our mind, our spirit, our space, and really bring in that comfort. That is truly the way that I think about a That Mom winter routine, because it is so important to think of it from a holistic approach. And so I'm going to go ahead and hop into the shower, put on that skin smoothing oil, get cozy, and get myself to bed a little bit early, because I'm trying my best to take advantage of these shorter days where it does get dark earlier. I try my best to take advantage of these shorter days and get to bed a little bit earlier, because I do wake up so early, because my morning routine is so important to me. But it is important to me to also get to bed a little bit earlier as well. So I want to thank you girls so much for watching today's video. And if you like today's video, you can let me know by giving it a big thumbs up. And now the subscribe button is right over here on the screen. Give that a click, that way you don't miss a single video. And I hope to see you back here next Thursday.